The smell of old paper was unmistakable, mingling with the soft scent of lavender that drifted in from the garden outside. It was the kind of day when the sun hung lazily in the sky, casting a warm glow across everything it touched. But for Sarah, this day had an odd stillness to it, as if the air itself was holding its breath. She sat at her grandmother's old writing desk, the one that had been passed down through generations. The brass handles on the drawers were polished, the wood smooth and worn with time. It was here, in this corner of the house, that her grandmother had written countless letters to loved ones, letters to herself, and letters to the world she never quite shared. Sarah's grandmother had passed away a few months ago, but today, the letters had come calling again. The box on the desk was old, its edges curled with age. It was filled with envelopes, tied together with twine, all addressed in her grandmother's delicate handwriting. But one envelope was different. It was yellowed and fragile, the ink fading but still legible. A name was written in a way that made Sarah's heart skip. It was her name. She hesitated. The letter was old, likely decades old. But it was addressed to her, and though Sarah had never seen it before, she knew it held something important. Something that had been waiting to be discovered. Hello and welcome to Everyday Epiphany, where simple stories spark soulful insights. Sit back, enjoy the journey, and may it brighten your day. With a deep breath, Sarah carefully tore open the envelope, careful not to damage the delicate paper inside. The letter unfolded like a treasure, revealing her grandmother's familiar handwriting. The words were soft and thoughtful, as if they had been written just yesterday. "My dear Sarah," it began, "I don't know when you'll read this, but I hope that, by the time you do, you will understand the depth of my love for you and the wisdom I hope to pass on to you." Sarah read the words again, slowly, as if letting each one sink in. Her grandmother had always been a woman of few words, but when she spoke or wrote, every sentence held weight. The letter continued, "You see, Sarah, there is something I wish I had told you when I was still alive. Something I never quite found the courage to say. I want to share with you the importance of listening to the past, of understanding where we come from, so that we can know where we are going. Sometimes, the answers we seek are not in the present moment, but in the stories we've forgotten." As Sarah read on, she felt a quiet stirring inside her, a sense of connection to a woman who had always been so full of strength and grace, yet had kept parts of herself hidden away. In the letter, her grandmother spoke of the struggles she had faced as a young woman, the choices she had made, and the lessons she had learned along the way. "I never shared these things with you, Sarah, because I didn't want you to carry my burdens. But now, I see that the only way for us to truly move forward is to understand our past, to embrace it, to learn from it, and to accept that some of the answers we need are already there, waiting for us." Tears welled up in Sarah's eyes as she felt the weight of the words. Her grandmother had lived through so much, had carried so many quiet burdens, and yet she had never shown them. She had always been the rock of the family, the one who held everything together. But here, in these words, she was showing a different side of herself, the side that had been hidden for so long. "I hope you will take this letter, Sarah, and find peace in it." The letter concluded, "There is so much I never said, but maybe, just maybe, you will understand it now." Sarah folded the letter carefully, her hand shaking just slightly. It felt as though she had been entrusted with a piece of her grandmother's soul. And though the words had come too late for her to share them in person, the message was clear. The past was a bridge that connected them, and it was through understanding the past that Sarah could move forward in her own life. The letter reminded Sarah of something she had read in The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. In the novel, the characters grapple with the pain of the past and the strength that can be found in the most difficult of circumstances. The main characters, just like her grandmother, had carried their burdens silently, with no one fully understanding their struggles until much later. There's a moment in the book when one of the characters reflects, "In the end, we are all just stories." It made Sarah realize that the stories of her grandmother, those untold, hidden stories, were part of who she was. And those stories had shaped her, just as Sarah's own would shape the future. That's when Sarah understood. The past wasn't something to be feared or forgotten. It was a treasure trove of wisdom, of experiences, and of love. Every decision, every struggle, every joy, and every loss had a place in shaping the person she was becoming. Her grandmother had carried her own story in silence, but Sarah didn't need to do the same. As Sarah sat back in the chair, holding the letter close to her chest, she felt a deep sense of gratitude. It wasn't just for the letter, it was for the opportunity to know her grandmother in a way she had never known her before. To see the woman behind the memories, behind the love, behind the strength. In that moment, Sarah understood the power of stories, not just the ones that are told aloud, but the ones that are carried within us, silently shaping us. And she made a promise to herself. She would listen more closely, not just to the stories of the past, but to the ones that were unfolding in her own life. Because the past and the present were not separate, they were part of a never-ending conversation between generations, between hearts, between souls. So, if there's one thing Sarah took from her grandmother's letter, it was this: that sometimes the wisdom we seek is already there, hidden in the quiet spaces between moments. And all we need to do is listen. Thank you for being here with us at Everyday Epiphany. If today's story touched your heart or sparked a thought, subscribe and stay with us. Your next epiphany might just be one story away.